How you doing? Valentine's Day this weekend. Check out my last video, the one that I did Wednesday, talking about love by sign. What is your love language? I'm so excited for so many different reasons. I'm just excited to talk to you guys. I want to get all of your birth dates. I want to talk about the global reset, and I want to do some readings. So let me know, what do you want to talk about? Okay, what do you think is is important to talk about? And I want to display the questions on the screen here, but I'm not seeing how to do that. I always forget. Okay, this is important. We are going through a global reset. It's already started, and I got an inside scoop from a client today about a future AI job that's going, not an AI, a future job that's going to be because of AI. And this is about the global reset. And you guys have to know, how are you going to handle this? How are you going to manage this? What are you going to do when it comes to the reset? Now, some of us are already self-employed. Some of us are inventive and we're creative, and we don't really care how we make a living as long as we're making a living, right? We're not worried about where is it coming from? How is this getting to us? What's going on with everything? We're not. We're more focused on living our best life, right? Yeah, just living our best life. But guess what? Many people are focused on doom and gloom and demise and control and government and organizations and everything. Right? And I am that optimistic person who thinks that everything is going to just come out beautiful, glowing cherries, unicorns, and cotton candy. No, I'm not. I know that this is going to be hard. This global reset is starting. It's already started a long time ago. But how it's going to be announced to us is going to be in the next couple of years. I forgot that I want to go live on TikTok. So I'm going to do that right now. And I want to get some readings done there too with everybody. After this is going to be a short one, guys. On Fridays, it's going to be short. It's going to be about half an hour because I am now on what's called Spirit Realm Network. And I got my own show there called Stargazer. And it's on Facebook, but there's a live chat just like you guys can do here. And not only that, Spirit Realm Network has a lot of people just like me, mediums, people that talk to dead people, UFO specialists, ghost hunters, like the list goes on. There's a whole bunch of us there. So I want you guys to go over to Spirit Realm Network on Facebook, and that's exactly what it is, at Spirit Realm Network, and join there so you get notifications. And it's just growing, it's just starting, resurrecting itself, and I'm really excited to be asked to be a part of it. Okay. So later, if you don't get a chance to get a reading, or you just catch this near the end, then check it out over there. Every Friday, 9:00 Pacific Standard, no, 9:00 Eastern time. Okay, 6:00 Pacific time. I want to do some readings on you with you guys, but I also want to get some downloads and some clairvoyant messages. And what questions do you have about the near future? What questions do you have about your job or your jobs? I have a plethora of clients. Plethora, it's my word of the day. Of clients that are really confused about their work situation, and they're not sure what to do in work. So I was working with a client who is a lawyer. She's actually getting her bar done, but she works in the legal field, and she pretty much works like a lawyer now. And she's in New York. She's confused about what exactly she wants to do as a lawyer. Like, a lot of people think that being a lawyer is like Law and Order, right? And that's all it is. There's, like, in the States, they're called attorneys as well. And there's just a million things that lawyers do, if they even do that, because we pay them. Like my client said today, who's also works in an AI. This is the news I'm going to give you guys. It's going to freak you out. So when I'm working with my client earlier this week, she doesn't know what she's going to do. And I said, you need to take a look. It doesn't matter whether you pass your bar. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what letters you have and what diplomas you have. And I said, what's going to matter is how much do you know about technology and AI, and how can you become a mentor, um, a bridge between the old way of doing legal work and the new way of doing legal work. Because if you're new and you're fresh and you're young, or you've been in this legal field for a really long time and you catch yourself up with AI. Okay. Now, AI aren't all robots. There's not going to be, get that out of your head. Okay. There's not going to be a bunch of robots that are in suits being lawyers, right? It's just going to all be down with an app. And I'm going to give you guys 5 more things that are going to be in the next 5 years, if not sooner. And it's not a bad thing. I want to tell you this. We have only been in this age that we're in, which is the industrial age, and the workforce and the banking system and the lending and loaning and sellers and buyers system, in the monetary system with paper dollars, for the last 150 years, if that. That's it. Maybe 125 years. No, over 100. Yeah, I'd say 150 years. That's it. We're arguably 16 billion million years old as humans. 150 years is a drop in a bucket, right? So how are you going to be able to handle this? Well, give me your astrological information and I will tell you how. Give me your astrological information and I'll predict how are you going to deal with all of the changes that are moving forward. But it is Valentine's Day tomorrow. So maybe you want to know about love. How do you love? What is your love language? I mean, I can pretty much answer anything. And of course, I welcome your opinions and your thoughts, even if it's on repeat. And let's get that. Let's get this party started. So what I said to her was that she needed to keep up with that. Okay. She's in the legal field in New York. You need to keep up with AI or you're just going to be kicked to the curb because AI is going to come into play. She goes, yeah, I kind of know that. She's young. Well, I talked to another client, both the same age, who's in Europe. And she said to me, I work in the legal field with something to do with in the AI department. I said, right near the end of the reading, right? We were done the reading. I said, can I ask you a question? She's like, yes. Hey, France, give me your birth date and your birth information and your specific questions. And I will talk about how are you going to deal with the Great Reset, the global reset that's going on now. And also anything, you can ask me anything pretty much. Hey, Lorraine, I asked her, so what's going on with AI? She goes, 5 years. I give it 5 years. Now, anytime somebody gives me a prediction, it always seems to be like 5 years or 10 years, right? I cut that in half because that's how fast AI is going to be working once it gets a momentum. They're just trying to figure out how we're going to react on this. And trust me, they're not trying to figure out how we're going to act because they want to baby us and coddle us and they care so much about us. They got their own agenda, but it really doesn't matter. And how will I deal with the reset? That's a good one. So basically, if you are, we went to our lawyers actually. What is this with lawyers this week? Most of this week was the planet was in the moon was in Libra. So that's all about the legal field and lawyers, etc. So that's probably and what's fair and what's not fair. And you want to know about love. Okay. So we'll do that next. June 7th is for next, and June 25th is after that. Our lawyer should be retired soon. And he's going, I got young kids because married a second time. Going to be a while before, yeah, I'm going to be retiring. I'm like, nah, you'll be retiring in about 5 years because you dealt with the lawyer as well. Who's been dealing with legal stuff this week? Because that's what it's all about. With that, we were just getting our wills done, so I'm not in trouble. I'm sticking right here. I'm not going to be behind bars. Okay, so Let's take a look at I gotta the moon's in Sag right now, and I got this really quirky, sarcastic sense of humor. I just feel like I'm really distracted. I'm like, "Bing, bing, 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 bing." Can you tell? So we're gonna talk about the next one, which is, nurses. So the nurses that take your blood, that take your blood pressure, that test your blood as well, okay? So the labs that test your blood, they're gonna be gone. The nurses that take your blood, they're gonna be gone. And the nurses that do, like, your blood pressure, uh, you know, change your bed, all the believe it or not, the ones where you're changing things, changing diapers and bedpans and all that stuff is gonna go on. They're gonna stick around because they still need that human interaction. They're not gonna have a robot that's gonna be quite dexterous to do that. But you put your hand in an arm, put your arm in a machine. It takes your blood precisely and painlessly, just like a prick, and then it sends it off in the machine to do all the tests that you want or that you're being, possibly it'll be a while. You will have a doctor, and the doctor will give you a script that it's ready to take it because it's got this special digital code, right? So what do you need vampires for? You don't. And the older generation is still gonna want that, but that's how I see it. That doesn't mean it exists right now, but that's what I'm predicting. The the second one is real estate agents. And real estate agents, uh, June Lorraine, are you June 7th or yeah, June 7th. Okay. Real estate agents. And this client that I spoke to today does work in the legal field around real estate agents. And the thing is that real estate agents, they're not even really needed right now. And all of the work, the banking and the mortgage and the real estate, that's all going to be taken over by an app. And there's still going to be certain, like in commercial ways, with commercials, and there's going to be certain areas where real estate, but basically, you selling your house and you buying a house down the street or even in the next city or province or state is going to be all done with an app. Your mortgage will be done with an app. It's going to be, in a way, tough because, when you work with real people know how to bend the rules, kind of morph the system a little bit in your favor. And every once in a while, you're fortunate to meet that person who's willing to do it that way. And that's where I think it's going to be tough. Now, it's going to be really fair to those people that all across the board. But if you're that person that's manifests easily, I am, you're going to miss out on that human interaction where you get that special person that just goes, you know what? I like you. I'm going to do something that no most of us would. I could get fired for if I did. Right? That's going to be hard. That real thing. Um, so CRB says, way we going to trust to AI controlled by the psychopaths. Look, our civilization, there's nothing good, just more and more bad every year. No, no, no. See, you're being sold what they want you to see, hook, line, and sinker. Everything that is bad right now has been going on for decades. It's just coming to the surface. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is that now you can see it. Okay. The writing's on the wall. You've looked behind the curtain. It's always been there. Secondly, there is way more good, just as much good, if not more good people than there is bad people. I can give you names. Mo Gawad is one of them. Whether you believe it or not, I do believe Elon Musk is one of them. Um, there's a few other ones that are really high up in AI and technology, and that is sorry, I just have to block somebody, which is probably an app. It's probably a bot. I can tell bots now, like a mile away, right? And that one should be deleted. Mute account. There we go. Okay, great. Okay. And the really cool thing is that we are going to see all of the goodness come out more than ever. And I'm born a long time ago too. But if you are willing to see the good and know that the algorithms are set up for engagement, and the reason people engage is because people like a good fight. Why do people watch sports? They like to see aggression. They like to see challenges. They like to see losers and winners. They do. Really, you do. Don't you? If you are betting on a game, you're betting on a local, team that you always vote, you always had that's who you wanted to win. You are enjoying a game about winners and losers. And you are enjoying a game where there's going to be aggressiveness and anger and frustration and most likely body slamming, right? This is what we like. So when you put similar scenarios on social media, whether it's fighting about something you heard in the news, fighting about who died, fighting about your government or lack thereof government, fighting about the Epstein files, fighting about whatever. You know what? Now my name's going to be in the Epstein files because I mentioned the Epstein files. So my name's going to probably be in the next one coming up in the Epstein files. It's like I was looking for my name in the Epstein files. There's so many freaking people there. But as long as you are are fueled by that, and most of us are, like, put your hand up if you hate and never watch movies, TV shows that are or podcasts, documentaries, docuseries that are have uh, aggression, fighting, blood, death, anger, uh, a lot of action, a lot of noise and action and crash and bang them, blow them up, you know, um, where even like South Park is too much for me because there's people yelling at each other all the time. And I'm not on the island yet. We're getting there, Brenda. Oh my gosh. Yes, we're getting there. We'll be there in about 3, 4. We're going to be there at the end of March. So 6 weeks. If you are one of those people, then you're buying right into all this stuff, and that's what they're gonna make sure that they see. "Hi, Maya. Give me your birth date." I'm talking about the that we are in a global reset and how and what jobs are gonna be. I've already mentioned 3 jobs that are gonna be right? Now, in the turn of the century, there was a million inventors. Okay, maybe not a million, but there was a lot of inventors. They didn't become rich or wealthy or well known until most likely after they've died in most cases. Thank you, Brenda. But I'm not talking about the news, CRB. I'm glad you're not doing movies or anything else. That's good. But what about CRB? What about social media? Like, where are you seeing all this bad stuff that's in the world? Like, you're not under a rock, right? And you're not watching news. You don't have to watch news to see it. I don't watch news. I haven't turned on, like, we haven't had a cable TV for like 15 years. And I'm not joking. At least 15 years. So you tell me where you're getting all of this. You can't ignore it unless you're completely not on social media and none of your friends are, so they don't talk about it either. So if you're getting that, you're getting the negative version of life. And that's not necessarily, it isn't. It isn't the reality of it. Now, are there countries where there's horrific amount of bloodshed going on and deaths going on? There is. But that is not most of the world. Does that mean it doesn't matter and we shouldn't do anything about it? If you can, do it. If there's something you want to contribute, do that. If it's just talking about hate and anger and frustration, but there's no solution, you're no different than the news. Do you remember one of the parts that keep us going when it came to the old-fashioned news and news channels. I'm Holly from AskHollyHall.com, by the way. I'm an astrologer. I'd love to do your readings. I like to do your readings around the Great Reset. I'm going to get to June 7th, 64 very soon because Friday night's going to be short because I am going to be going to Spirit Realm Network on Facebook right after this, and you can get some readings there too if I don't get to you. So, Maya, if I don't get to you, go onto Facebook if you have it to Spirit Realm Network, and I'm going to be on at 9 o'clock. Yeah. So, in my astrology, Saturn isn't moving into Aries, it's in Pisces, and it'll be there for a while. So, you're going to be fine. But that means your chart has shifted too. So, I will take a look at it. Around me, people are angry, unfriendly, selfish, etc. Yeah, when you need new people. CRB, let's get you some new people. And it probably only going to be one because we're lucky. Most people are sheeple. And even though inside they're not, they know not what they do. I know. A little biblical. That's a little cray-cray for me, but they don't. They really don't. They mean well. They think that they're protesting and advocating, and they think they're saving the world by talking about who is wrong with the world and what is wrong with the world. But they're not. With that being said, this is like the turn of the century where the monetary system shifts. And basically, I think it was CRB that told me the monetary shifts every 100 years or so. So it's bound to happen. And the job market completely shifts. What are the demands of society? And how do we meet those demands of society that's been like slowly gravitating towards this evolution for the past 10 decades? Right? This is what happens every 100 years or so. Take a look in history, what happened between 1880 and 1925. And that's where all the inventors came out. Tons of inventor. Everything that you're using right now was invented at that time. Or it is an upgrade of what was invented at that time, including the telephone. Think about it. Like, it's not rocket science, right? And I would love your comments on this. We're going to look at June 7th. And we're all going to get through this, guys. I still got 2 more jobs that are going to be that I'm going to predict. All right. June 7th. She wants to know, I think she said she wants to know about career. How am I going to get through this change? Now, fortunately, you are a few years. It depends, I suppose, but you're probably about 5 years from retiring, which is where hopefully you are. But as there's a lot of people who can't. There are people in their 70s still working because they can't afford their rent. Like it's bad, but it's going to get better. I promise you that. What's happening for you and a shift and a change that's happening for you career-wise, and what really stands out for me is money and finances and earning your paycheck is really ridiculously, I don't mean ridiculously, but it's very important to you. You are to the point that you're slave to the wage. And that if you don't have a steady income, if you don't like your job, you'll stick to it just because you have a steady income. Because you'll not change jobs because you're afraid of that income changing. And because you're afraid of that income changing, you have and you're a survivor and you're feisty, right? And you're multitasking. You stay in jobs a lot longer than most people do, but there's a lot of aggression. You're frustrated, you're irritated around it. That doesn't mean you share that aggression, but you're also a leader, a strong leader, and you can manage change. You don't like change, but when something forces you to change, you nail it better than anybody else does. And this significant change is going to happen for you as early as this summer. This summer. Are you a teacher? You're somebody that works really good in emergency situations. You work well as a teacher. You work well in finances, anything to do with finances. You an educator of some sort. You work really well with your hands, so you could be that person that works um, in a factory type where you can do things the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm talking about June 7th, 64. So Lorraine, um, give me some feedback around that. So there is going to be a change, a drastic change for you, but and it is, let me see. I said this summer, right? I want to give you exactly. So it's in August, right? It's in July or August. But the thing is, it may not actually happen. You will know it's going to happen. And it could happen, but it's right on the edge, right? So it could be something that's very close to happening, but you're aware of it, whether it's happening or it's not happening, but it will be for a year, and you'll know about it um, this summer. It's or in the early fall. Sorry, it is. You don't struggle with it because it's the worst thing that's ever happened. You struggle with it because you're feisty and you're already not happy. And you're like, I'm not happy. Now I'm even more unhappy. But you did well financially last year and the year before, or you should have if you didn't take. But the whole thing is that this is going to be confusing for you. You'll be like, I don't know what to do. But you are a multi talented, multi gifted person. And it'll take about a year for you to get through this. I don't know if Lorraine is still here or not, so I'm gonna stop talking about her. But you will get through this as long as you're ready and you're open to change. Okay. It really depends on what you do. So, taking a look so there's a job change, but that doesn't mean a financial change. I'm going to take a look at June 25th. So June 25th is asking about if there's going to be love in her life anytime soon. And I mean, it might not be soon, but I know that's what people want. And this is the weekend of love. So you're thinking that everybody has it but me. And I can tell you, as a spiritual life coach, astrologer, no, not everybody has it but you. Actually, most people don't have it, whether they're married or not, they don't. If they're showing you, oh, look at the flowers you gave me in the card, and look at the dinner that we're at with our glasses of wine, most likely it's just show. People fake it till they make it or till they lose it. That's the key. Everybody doesn't go around, how are you today? Oh, well, I got in a fight with my husband and I'm ready to give him a divorce, but I also have an 18-year-old kid that's about to go to university and he's the one that makes most of the money. And how am I going to survive if I leave him? Nobody's going to say that to you at the checkout counter. You're just gonna see the good stuff on Facebook, and they're not even gonna put it on Facebook, right? And nobody wants to hear it. It's okay, lol, was in a relationship. Okay, so Francis, I'm actually excited and terrified about the new age of AI for career changes. I'm already lost. Everybody's lost because we don't know what that change is, right? Yeah, I do. I try to go in an order, but sometimes I randomly pick people. Maya is going to be after June 25th here. So where do I see a love relationship for June 25th? Not this year. It could be within the next couple of months. I think I already did this reading for you because this looks very familiar. It could be in the next couple of months. But I'm seeing it more in 2028 and 2029 is where I see us settling down in a love relationship. So y- when people hear that, they get really disappointed, and I understand that, but it's all perspective. It's not obvious that everybody would be upset by that. It's all perspective. If I told you you had till the summer, if till 2028, a year, 2 years to live, you'd be freaking out, right? It doesn't mean you don't meet the person before. It just means that's when you're settled down. And of course, it's not cut in stone. I'm an astrologer who looks up at the stars. Ultimately, you have control and you have free will and you can do what you like. But I see you settled, happy in a long term relationship around 2028. Now, let's take a look at Maya. And then she wants to talk about what's going on with her chart with Saturn. And Saturn's buzzing through the signs fairly quickly. So it's not really affecting everybody long term. It's just a short term, annoying gnat, that's following you everywhere you go while you're on the beach, but it's not part of your life. And she is in Iran or was born there. Tehran, Iran. What Saturn is doing to your chart, remember I do sidereal astrology, which is astronomy astrology, and things, it's just different when you look at the sky in a real telescope and see where everything is. It's shifted because the Earth is on a wobble, and throughout the last 2,000 years, it's slowly shifted. So we are about 21 degrees behind. So if you're born September 2nd, like me, I'm not a Virgo, I'm a Leo, but I have Virgo in my chart. When you're an astrologer, you don't look at the sun sign at all like it's important. You don't. I'm a Virgo. It doesn't really matter. If I like somebody who's an astrologer and I'm like, I've got a moon in this, my ascendant is that, and my Mercury, and they're like, ooh, they can see all of me, right? But I'm a Virgo. I was like, yeah, no, you're way more than that. It's like saying, who are you? What do you do for life? I'm a girl. And so how do you I like a girl? And where do you go the way a girl does? Like, no, that's like saying, I'm your son, I'm a Virgo, I'm a Virgo, I'm a Virgo, right? The Saturn for you is actually was working in your favor. I want to see if Saturn's going fairly quickly. It's not really touching your chart at all negatively until, and it'll may change your home situation and where you're living. Relationships with family can go really topsy-turvy. Relationships with friends that were like family, you've known them forever, can go topsy-turvy. But that's not this year. It's about setting your boundaries is really what you do. And that's not until February, March of 2027. So you're good to go. Let's take a look at, hi, Holly, DOB. Wish I knew hour, apparently late morning. Post the link, Spirit Realm. I get so much data using that as a search. Thanks. Okay, it's Spirit Realm Network, REALM, is on Facebook. I can't really post it here. But if you go on my Facebook page, Ask Holly Hall 1, you will see on my page too, which is Ask Holly Hall, and in my group, which is Ask Holly Hall, you'll see the links there. Okay. Spirit Realm Network, at Spirit Realm Network. Just punch it into Facebook and you'll find it. July 27th. Wish I knew. I'm feeling confused. What is coming up for me? Need some good news. Exhausted. Okay, let's take a look at you. I know I've read for you a lot, so I'm going to go and see what else. I'm actually terrified at the same time. Hey, Holly, when will be a good time to move? Angie, 29. So, Angie, let's take a look at when you can move. And then you guys are going to move over to Spirit Realm, REALM Network, if you want to continue to get some readings, because I got to sign off after the next couple. I really want your feedback. It's quick feedback as you possibly can as I am reading for you. And 6. So you are wondering when is a good time to move. There we go. A good time for you to move is if you're moving overseas, it'll be at the end of the year, the beginning of next year. If you're moving locally, you're better after June. Not June, after May. Up until the beginning of May, things are a little bit rough and confusing. You're so confused, you don't know what to do. But that confusion and all that misinformation and dialogue not really getting straight, that's all going to lift for you. I'm sorry, a little bit later. Yeah, May. So I would wait till May. Um, April, May is perfect. In fact, you get a steal of a deal. Like everything just works in your favor during that time. Okay. Am I going to Scotland in the next 12 months? I get November. Is that a yucky time to go? Is that the rainy season, November? I don't know. But I'm getting that you're going in November. Yes, I think I'm a Gemini then. Interested what things look like for me. I like more specific questions. Ask Holly Hall .com is where you can get those types of questions answered in a long form. Hey, Angie's Awakening. I love that. And we're going to take a look at what I can see any feedback on Facebook. How is silver going to be in February? It's not going to start creeping up till March. And then my prediction, which I've said for about 6 months, is you're going to have to sell in June. Or sell in June because it will skyrocket. There's some big fish coming in to take as much as they can. The thing is the moon is in Sagittarius for you, and the one that just wrote everything in caps. And this is a really irritating, agitating, exhausted. You've got monkey mind all over the place. What is the biggest lesson you need to learn? This is what I wanted to say. This is going to help you, Karen, as well. What I wanted to say is that if you are affected by control, and there's always control, there's everything in life, right? And if you're affected by that, you are going to be so angry. It already has you under control. I have a friend who gets so angry about control. Like she's so cute. She doesn't even want to walk across a crosswalk because it's controlling me. I can cross the street by myself when I know it's safe. I don't need a freaking crosswalk. Right? But apparently the cars need it because the cars are the ones that are the problem, not the people per se. But anyways, that's how angry she is about control. And I tell her straight up, I go, well, they've already controlled you. Look at you. You're out of control. They've already got you like all wrapped up, like all your knickers in a knot. Don't let anybody do that to you. Don't let any entity, any system, and there's not a lot you can do about it. And if you can, do it. This is the cycle of life, right? There's a song, The Cycle of Life. Hi, Holly, with an I-E. I like that. Okay. Karen, I've got to go. I got to get ready for my next one. Sorry, I didn't have a chance. But when Sag lifts, and we move into like a Capricorn energy, Karen, you're going to feel a lot better on Sunday and Monday. This is the time to doom scroll. This is a time that you're going to be distracted. You're going to be all over the place. So I want you guys to go over to Spirit Realm Radio Network. I used to be in radio, so I keep wanting to say that. So you're going to go to @Spirit Realm Network on Facebook. And did I spell that right? Network. Yeah. On Facebook. And I'm going to be there in about 15 minutes. And I'm going to be doing some free readings. And the really cool thing is you want to follow them because they have a whole bunch of people like me. They got mediums. They've got UFO people. They've got Oh, the one that's right now, she is if you guys have an animal, go over there right now because she reads animals. She's an animal medium or an animal psychic. So she's there at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Friday. Spirit Realm Network. I'll see you guys there. Okay. Mwah. I'll be back on Monday. I won't be here Wednesday though, because I start my nomadic travel and I have to skip Wednesday. Talk to you later. Love you all. Namaste.